Peace and blessings. Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Come on in. Come on in. I know everybody's getting dinner together or just ate dinner, just serviced their families, trying to wind down. Some people went to work today for the first day since the storm or, the quote unquote storm. Anyway, listen, we got some stuff to kind of go over and to talk about. So come on in, come on in. I'm gonna give it just a minute. Peace and blessings to everybody. Hey Laverne, we got my sis in the building, Miss Yothwas. We got Cut Madge in the building. Peace and blessings. The T is in the building. Always can rely on you to come through and show some love. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for coming through. We got KTB, the God in the building. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. It is so good to see everybody. I got one more video or clip that I'm going to want to show, but I've been having trouble finding it. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, okay, perfect. One a little bit of an issue with finding it, so if y'all just bear with me, it's gonna be some good content, because even though we're going to be going over a very hot topic and probably some avenues seems oversaturated, it's like everybody's talking about Anton Daniels. Everybody's talking about Corey Holcomb and the Anton Daniels situation, which has shed light and has kind of penetrated the rabbit hole into Anton Daniels, life situation, online presence, and all of that. One of the things that Anton Daniels has absolutely made clear and makes it a habit to make clear on a regular basis is how transparent he is and how he made a promise on the embarkment of his YouTube career that he was going to be an open book. I don't know if it is now, but at one point his marriage was available to be on display, all of these things, right? And I have to say that I have watched Anton Daniels, not him per se on his millionaire show, but on his Room 9, where he has the panels. I have chimed in, especially as of late and as of recently. And I'm here to tell you that I have my own personal opinions, but this entire situation that has evolved, and I'm not easily influenced by people's opinions. I form my own opinion, my own analysis. I draw my own conclusions, whether it matters or it don't. Most of the time it don't, concerning somebody else's life. But I will say that this has been interesting, right? Based off of my personal journey, or my personal, kind of following the whole thing, not knowing that it was going to evolve into something like this, into this large beast, so to speak, right? But I just wanted to say that this is fair use, that I am not here for beef. I am not here to pass judgment. I am here to give my opinion. And if it seems as if I'm passing judgment, then that's upon the person that feels that way, more so than it is of my intention. Because at the end of the day, I really don't, what I eat don't make you poop, right? So I've just never been one to be really truly concerned or so overly concerned about other people's lives. Now, what I will say is that I'm a day one of the Kwame Brown bus life sector. I've been here for the duration since 2000, right? And there was a time when Anton Daniels and Kwame were amicable. Now, because Kwame gave his opinion, I have seen Anton respond to somebody that gives their opinion that he does not necessarily agree with, or doesn't shine him in a real prominent light, that he just goes on attack mode. He goes on disrespect mode. He goes on belittling mode. He goes on, I'm going to undermine you and you not on my level mode. And I've never liked that about him. I've never been very favorable when it comes to that, right? So 1 second, y'all. So peace and blessings to everybody coming in. If I don't watch the chat, then disregard and hold it. Don't hold it to my head or my heart. However that shit go. Y'all already know. Listen, it's late. I've had a long day. Being mama bear. And listen, it is what it is. But I wanted to get this out. I've been sitting in the background, just kind of observing and watching. Not really feeling like, okay, well, do I really want to chime in on all of this? Because it just seems like everybody, but it is what it is. And it hit a chord with me when I came across this one particular video with an interaction between Anton and his wife. Now, this is under fair use, okay? Guidelines, the disclaimer is at the bottom of the video. And the bottom line is that I still have an opinion, just like everybody else got one. I'm not here to line up with a disrespectful delivery, but I am here. Depends again on the receiver, but that's not my intention. But nonetheless, give me one moment, y'all. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and start this video that I do have in the queue. And I've been watching. I don't watch everybody's content, but based off of the people that I have watched their content, I haven't seen this. I haven't seen even this particular video being referenced. Not that it hasn't been, but I haven't seen it. And I thought it was super, super interesting, the interaction between Anton and his wife. Okay. So just so before I cue it in and start it, the fact of the matter is that he pushed the live button in an intimate moment or a moment that I perceive, if it were me and my significant other, there would have been no cameras. At least, especially not from my significant other, pushing a live button for it to become everybody else's business. There are certain things that, in my opinion, should not be privy to the public. When you get married, when you take those vows, when you conjoin your life with somebody else, you bear children, you become one. That's just my opinion. Whether people agree with me or not, that's not my concern. What I will say is that where do we draw the line with our personal interactions with our spouses becoming content? There are so many different other avenues that can be made content, but you have this situation where he and his wife are on an exclusive visit, vacation, whatever the case may be, and he pushes the live button and he puts their entire relationship on display. I'm from a different time. I don't think my age difference is that different from when Anton and his wife were born, to the point where it's like it should be apple and oranges at this point, right? So I believe that there are certain things that should be left private, that should be sacred between husband and wife, or your significant other, boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever the case may be for you. I just believe that something should not be content, and I believe that a display of your marriage and putting on Front Street how you interact, whether you're putting an air on for the internet or whether you are not. And that's how you truly interact with one another behind the scenes, off the camera. It's like, okay, where do we draw the line? When does transparency become disrespect? And that's where my opinion comes in, right? So without further ado, I done did enough talking. Let's go ahead and go. Peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Listen, I want y'all to engage in the chat. I want you to type in the chat. I'm not going to ask you to come up on the panel or nothing like that, especially if that's not what you're here for. But I would love to know other people's opinions on this particular situation. You know, as a seasoned age woman, I get a lot of, well, you know, the older generation let us down. They didn't set a good example. And I've heard Anton, not just Anton, but I'm just saying, using him since I'm talking about him in this topic, I've heard him say that. And at what point do y'all take responsibility for yourselves? At what point do you assume that your decisions and the consequences of your decisions become prominent or take precedence over you being raised? Because according to the law of the land that we live in, once you become 18, you grown. You're responsible for your own financial decisions. You're responsible. You're old enough to smoke. You may not drink, but you're old enough to smoke. You're old enough to drive. You're old enough to sign on the dotted line without having an advocate or a parent co-sign for you or be responsible on your behalf for the decision that they are backing you on. And the fact of the matter is that at what point, and the question that I pose is, why and where does it fall on that individual to where everything doesn't fall on the old heads? Because everybody is an individual, right? So anyway, y'all, I can be long-winded because I've got like a lot of thoughts on this whole thing. And when the first time I watched this video, I watched it with Laverne, I watched it with Your Thoughts, right? And we watched it together and we were like, yo, this really happened. But the only reason I'm going to show it is because body language is a language. Verbal is not the only language that you have to express yourself. Body language, especially the dynamic between two people, and especially even more so between husband and wife, it means something. And it tends to become more under scrutiny for the observer. Anyway, let's go, y'all. I'm gonna go off camera because I want y'all to see this. Let me turn my music down for a hot second. And let's roll.
Listen, as she pulled my shirt down, see how my shirt's being pulled down right now? No, don't pull it up now. This chick gonna tell me that because I like to do the big things and I don't focus so much on the small things, that my romanticism is is lacking, right? Because let me tell you how this conversation started. So she's enjoyed a full day of romanticism. Look at the ambiance. Look at the lights. Doesn't that scream romantic?
But wait a minute. No, you asked me if you were romantic, and
I asked her. I said, "Yo," I said, and I didn't. It was a rhetorical question. I said, "Aren't I romantic?" And she was like,
"I didn't say nothing. I didn't answer. I didn't say nothing." And then you asked me again to answer, and I said, "Aside from today, no."
And I said, "That's a lie." And then I said, "So give me an example." Because like I said, she done been wined and dined, took her to a restaurant that we've had great times at before to remind her of her experiences and all this other type of stuff, right? Walking down the beach and all of that, right? And so
I want to, because fair use is in effect, right? I want to take a moment because body language expression, so you're looking at an interaction between husband and wife, right? And I will, listen, I'm going to pose this as a question because my whole thing is between husband and wife, I'm looking for reciprocity from my husband, especially feeling as if it was probably more so than not his decision to hit the live button. Once he hit the live button, you can't convince me that he's not aware he is live. And now the authenticity of their interaction may either be exemplified or it may be dullified. But either way it goes, because he is a content creator and he is so comfortable on camera to the point where nowadays we don't even see his wife. And he has several podcasts going. He has several different venues, several different projects going on a weekly basis, very consistent. He's very successful on YouTube, but the interaction between he and his wife shows me through body language more than his verbal, though his verbal we can't discount because we're going to get off into it. And these are his words, not mine. Definitely his words. These things matter, right? Let's continue.
I said, how is that not romantic? You're overlooking the water on the rooftop chilling.
You never tell the full story.
Nipples as hard as piss. Done what? I seen you.
Okay. All right. Now, okay. So he just said that her nipples were hard as piss. There was a video that Kwame Brown went over yesterday or the day before where he was speaking to his mother. His mother speaking on an incident that he had, a physical fight that he had with a nephew, a 20-year-old nephew that he has. And his mother asked how he was doing and how the girls were doing. And he said, my wife is half naked. That was after this particular situation, this particular video. Now, your wife is on camera, but at what point does this become public knowledge? Or do you feel that the public is privy to what goes on in your marriage? And even the bigger question that I have is, at what point is it sacred? Is there any sacredness between you and your wife? Because at the end of the day, as much as I have seen of Anton Daniels, I have never seen him speak on himself from an exploitive light, unless he's trying to impress somebody based off of his prowess or his interpreted self-prowess of himself, right? But this is not the context he's speaking of his wife on. And as Laverne just said, why is he talking underneath his wife's clothes? Not once, but in the past 24 hours, I have seen him do it twice. And that's without looking very hard. These videos have come across my timeline, and the only two that I've selected, he has managed to really put his wife on blast. Come on. We got to do better. It's not enough that you've been married for almost 20 years, in my opinion. If you involve exploitation and disrespect. And I deem this to be disrespectful. So if you're not sitting back talking about what your state of physicality was at that time, and you only mention your wife's physicality and being turned on at that time, what does that tell everybody else? Because people are watching, they listening, and they are calculating where you're coming from. And at the end of the day, that was absolutely disrespectful, in my opinion. But it's okay, because the Rollie, the diamonds, the trips, she's been with this man since they were in their younger years before the wealth, from what I understand. And so now she's sitting in a position to where, you know what, I'm going to let this ride. I ain't blaming her for that. Would I do that? No. But I'm not faulting, judging, or blaming her for doing it. People work with what they have at the end of the day, right? Let's continue.
Look, she got coughing on my shoulder, got a Rolex on her arm. How was that not romantic? If that ain't romanticism, I don't know what is.
Anton doesn't
I told
like
her, I said, first class
the
is
whole
romantic.
story.
First class is romantic.
Anton doesn't like to tell the whole story. He asked me if he was romantic, and I said, aside from today, no, because he doesn't do anything romantic. Like, that's just not his thing. And he said,
no, I said, give me an example.
You said being romantic.
No. I said, give me an example. You said, like, bringing a flower.
Bringing home flowers just randomly, or a card or something. He said, I brought you home a card. And I said, that was 2 years ago.
And then I said,
no flowers,
and then I said, oh, you capping. You capping now.
Honey.
Now I know you capping.
When?
And then I said, well, how many flowers do you got to buy to equal up a car?
And I'm not complaining.
How many flowers do you need to keep up a car? With a man of that stature, with a man of that kind of income, I am trying to understand how that fits into the scheme of the conversation. He puts a lot of emphasis on the physical trinkets that come with his wealth. I would almost bet and be guaranteed that does not put a dent in his income. That's why I call it trinkets. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. That's how I think. That's what I gather based off of him putting his life on the internet. Now he has to be more selective because he's under so much scrutiny and he's all plastered all over all of Black YouTube. And he has taken a lot of videos off of the internet because things that I have seen and I have watched for myself in real time no longer are accessible, including footage of the information and the interview that he got a lot of views on with him and Miss Mika. No disrespect to either, but I saw what I saw. And the body language, the conversation, the eye contact, and that's what I was trying to find. But I'm not going to be the dead horse because it's just not there unless somebody recorded it and they find favor to bring it to people's, inbox, right? And I don't want to go over nobody else's content. No disrespect. It's just at this point, I know what I saw. And I'm telling you, when I saw this video, because I saw the video between him and Mika first. And then I saw this footage and this interaction between him and his wife. I'm taken aback because the interaction between him and his wife has nothing compared to the interaction with him and Mika. Let me hold on, y'all. Y'all know I'm special when it comes to this technology thing. But I saw Miss Chicago. She said, hold on, do y'all remember that guy that Kwame did the documentary with about the young lady that got violated by the radio host? He looked like that dude. Now, I don't know about either because I don't recall that, Miss Chicago, but I saw. So I can't really respond to that. But I saw this question. I'm just asking, is that the thumbnail lady or someone else? It could be. Out of respect, I did the silhouette on the thumbnail. Now, unlike a lot of people, and no disrespect or shots at anybody, I can only look at it from my perspective, and this is my channel. So I wanted, as a wife, to give her respect, unless you click on the link, and I'm still giving her respect. I'm not disrespecting Anton. I'm just saying what I see. And if the truth hurts, hit dogs will holler. But I know what I see, and until it is said that I can't vocalize my opinion and we no longer have the amendment to where we can exercise free speech, I'm not here to slander nobody. I'm not here to belittle nobody. I'm just telling you what my assumption or what my conclusion or my opinion of this whole situation in this particular video. Because you, in my opinion, cannot put what you classify as your whole life or being transparent or being what's the word? I'm looking for a specific word. But you putting your business on the internet, but you expect for nobody to say nothing about it. Now you want to threaten to sue everybody. You want to intimidate everybody because your interaction with Corey Holcomb, I can tell because I watch Anton Daniels' content, has not turned out the way that I believe he hoped it would. He wanted visibility, the bag to increase. You gonna get all of that. But have you been educated on with what comes with that? Right? Let's continue.
Okay, see, he always tried to make me seem like I'm like complaining or something. I'm not, because I don't care. I know that that's not his personality, so I don't expect those things. But since he asked me and we were having the conversation, then I brought it up. But I don't care about stuff like that because that's not your personality. Today,
What's my personality? What's my personality?
To work.
Now, there is a mutual understanding and a mutual respect, and you can tell that there have been conversations and acceptance into where, okay, he has not made that a secret. And even if they didn't vocalize it through communication, he vocalizes it through his actions. He vocalizes it through the time, the effort, the energy, and the resources that he spends in order to do his content. So they have an understanding either way it goes, which should be that way inside of a marriage. There should absolutely be an understanding, and especially in order for it to work. Now, I have listened to him personally make comments over and over and over and over again across various channels that they have an understanding. I'm going to leave it at that. They have an understanding. They have a successful marriage. He didn't have any children out of wedlock. But I will say this. That's without looking beyond the surface of what it appears to the public. And just because you display uncomfortable situations or situations that can be scrutinized, does not mean that you are truly transparent. In my opinion, that's my opinion, fair use, right? Now listen to what comes. This took me by surprise. I ain't gonna even lie. Now I can understand you making comments to other women, but when it comes to wifey, when it comes to your better half, the one that you vowed to spend the rest of your life with, and the woman within that vow that you chose to procreate with, this is how he talked to her. Let's keep it rolling.
Man, skip these hoes, bro.
Skip
these hoes. Don't be sitting there. See, look at me letting her cough on me. Listen.
I wish my husband would address me as a hoe. I have never had a boyfriend a significant other, anybody I have procreated with ever in my presence, much less to the rest of the world in my presence, address me as a hoe. Now, in one breath, he says this, but in another breath, he also emphasizes how he is the only man she's been with, but she's not the only woman that he's been with. And he, in my opinion, whether they have an understanding or whether they don't, behind the scenes, what level of respect do you have for her? Accumulative, altogether, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, when it's all said and done. Wifey should hold a whole different position, even if you do step outside of your marriage and y'all do have that understanding, and she does value her lifestyle over your fidelity. At what point is the line drawn at how you represent me as your wife? Not your girlfriend, not your side chick, not as somebody that you dip and dabble with. At what point do I, as the child bearer, holding it down, because she's worked for him and has not worked for anybody else, according to him, for the last 14 years. She don't get a different level of respect, of acknowledgement, of ambiguity, of lack of transparency, of behind the scenes respect, and in front of the scenes respect. If I'm gonna be anybody's wife, you will not represent me and put me in the category of everybody else that you dibble and dabble with. I hold it down. I gave you your seed or seeds. I fit a criteria and am in a category. Can't nobody fuck with me. Period. And if you do not represent me as such, we got a problem, especially if you are the head of the household. I'm trusting you to lead the family, to raise our children, to protect and to provide for our children. You can't do that without me. But it's okay for you to disrespect me, to belittle me, to diminish my value, my contribution. You got me fucked up. I'm just saying. How she tolerates it is how she tolerates it. Every woman is different. Every mother is different. Every person is different. I don't know their struggles, because evidently she was with him when they didn't have it like that. Now you at a point to where you are experiencing a level of wealth that you would have never been exposed to in your mind outside of him. But what does it cost you? What is it costing you? I'm going to tell you something. I've been with men to where I would never have to work. But there was something in me that would not rely totally on a man for this very reason. You're not going to be able to control me and dictate what direction I go in, how people view me based off of your impact and your words when you get pissed off, or when I do something you don't like, or when I don't do something that you expect. I refuse. I am my own individual. I was raised as my own individual. I was raised with confidence. No matter what my imperfections are, I know what I have to bring to the table. And if I got to work from the bottom up and be by my goddamn self, I ain't got no problems with that. Because I know when the right man comes along and he's a natural leader that loves me and won't put me in this kind of a position, you got me till the wheels fall off. But one thing that I'm willing to do is I'm willing to be patient and not compromise for a couple of trinkets, to sit in the background until my man hits live and decides that he wants to belittle me in order to exalt himself. I ain't doing it. I know how to acquiesce to a man's leadership, but not to my detriment. We are here as partners. We are here to uplift one another. And if we are not being reciprocal in that venue, in that area, in that niche, I bid you adieu and I bid you well. And ain't nothing wrong with that. You ain't got to worry about me doing content, talking to my girlfriends on the side, saying, you know what, that nigga ain't shit. You ain't got to worry about none of that. I respect my relationships. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to hit that live button and everything that we have built from the ground up together. You're not going to minimize my contribution nor my value as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as God's child. Not necessarily in that order. God's still working on me. That should have been first. But I'm speaking from a carnal position. And it is what it is. Let's continue. What I will say before I push this continue and play button is that I believe, this is just my opinion, I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't have no inside knowledge, nor do I care to have any. But as a woman of seasoned age that has been through some relationships of different kinds, that has weathered some storms, that have taken some L's, and has been willing to start from the bottom by my goddamn self until a man recognizes and coincides with our partnership. I'm good with that. But with this woman, I'm going to pray for her. And my girl Laverne said flat out, and I appreciate this. I lost my train of thought, y'all, because I done got passionate about the subject. I'll get it back. It always circle back. But look, this live. So while this is live, I'm in my feelings, in my moment, and I have compassion for this woman. I have love for this woman. I can't imagine, based off of what this brother here has displayed on these YouTube streets internationally. He gets paid handsomely. He has several channels that he has said that he views himself as a god. That's dangerous. Especially when you moving like he moving. He moving like his money is his God. He moving like that money is going to get him out of any situation, because guess what? That's what this culture and society has told him. And up until this point, it's probably showed him. I'm a truth teller. I give my opinion from my personal experiences and from my observations. And I'm telling you, I followed certain information. I always chewed the meat and spit out the bones, because I always thought he was feeling himself a little bit too much for me. But he always dropped gems. And as Kwame Brown says, chew the meat and spit out the bones. And I know other people have said it, but that's when it resonated for me. And that's what matters to me, is when it hit home for me, the source that where it comes to me, I'm going to say, God damn, it hit different. But again, this is wifey. This is the one that bore his only, according to him and her, their only child. The one that he's invested so much into. But this is how you treat her. And again, prior to this, I saw, before I can't find it on the internet no more, ironically speaking, the interview with him and Mika, where he flew her out, their body language, the conversation, the level of mutual respect, how he was able to listen without interruption, where he was able to come and lead with respect, because he was trying to impress her. He was trying to lure her, in my opinion. Listen, none of us really have facts on here. The only level of facts that we have on this internet thing here is using your words, Mr. Anton Daniels. And you got a lot of contradictions, because you do a lot of content. And the one thing with people that don't always tell the truth is that when you put that thing on record, even if you withdraw the content, somebody got it. And then that's when you get mad. That's when you start flagging. That's when you start objecting. And you do it from behind the scenes. The only thing you do in front of the scenes is get real disrespectful and belittle people that you think don't have the same range of income that you do. And unfortunately, I believe that's going to be your downfall. But let's continue.
I'm the type of dude to change the weather because you said you're sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, and then look, 5-10 minutes after she got off the plane, she started experiencing something different. Man, the weather does really affect your health differently.
Did he just say that he can affect the weather when you say you're sick? I ain't got nothing.
Like, yeah, that's romantic. That's being thoughtful. See, just because they don't know no better, don't mean that you can substantiate their argument. Meanwhile, she laying on me, trying to get some. Trying to get some. So...
Isn't that what married couples do? How is that content? Isn't that what married couples do? Whether they procreate or they don't. Isn't that part of the union? How is that everybody else's business at that point in time? I have heard this man say that I'm getting ready to get some head. Several times I've heard that. He said that on Kwame Brown's platform when Gilbert and Kwame Brown had an interaction with one another. He said, I was going to hit the link. He said, oh, I hit the link around the time I was going to get some head. How is that relevant when you're talking to grown men about something that has totally nothing to do with what you said? I've heard him belittle Black women, single mothers, baby mamas. He ain't got nothing nice to say about baby mamas. He ain't got nothing to say, nice to say about people that look like him. So I guess at the end of the day, why would I expect anything nice or respectful when his wife is the same complexion or near the same complexion as himself? This is sad. Money comes and goes. The value of the dollar, of the American dollar, is diminishing. And whether you own a lot of real estate or you don't, or whatever the case may be, you think you're not affected with what goes on in this country? Keep talking.
Listen, y'all can't. Don't worry about what they think. You do what you know is romantic for you. Don't worry about these chicks. They're gonna have you out here looking dumb and stupid. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not true.
Rita, what do you? No. I got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think that Derrick Jackson is doing right now?
You mean like at this moment?
Yeah. What do you think that Derrick Jackson doing?
He rocking with that girl.
Well, what girl?
Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn? You are supposed to be on a vacation or a weekend or whatever. I don't know what that was, but it was supposed to be exclusive time between you and your wife, and you asking her about another man that she ain't never experienced. I would have, let me tell you, I would have checked out a long time before that. But at that point, if I hadn't checked out, I'd have got up and got the hell on. What? And I don't know exactly when this was videotaped, but I know it was around the time that whole Derrick Jackson thing came on, and his wife said that she had had enough, and she started recording content and giving some of their business to give some kind of balance to the shit that he was giving and all of that. I get all of that. But how does Derrick Jackson come into play with you supposedly having some quality time with your wife? But instead, you done hit the live button and you done basically put your mission to reiterate the disdain that you have for Black women, with your wife being included. I'm just saying. I can't accumulate that to be anything else but that. I watch body language. I listen to words. Words matter. Body language matters. Look how he is face front with the camera. His wife is positioned into him. She is rubbing the back of his head. She's holding him on the shoulder. When she speaks to him, more time than not, she's giving him eye contact. He doesn't give that same reciprocal energy. And it's obvious to those that are willing to look at what is actually being presented. I'm just saying. How is she separated from anybody else that he claims publicly time and time again that he's been with other women? I remember I heard him say live one time Divorce is not an option. Us separating and going our separate ways is not an option. That alarmed me. And that was before all of this other stuff came to fruition and came to light on the internet. But he's going to have to hold himself responsible for making a lot of what we know about him, his marriage, his family, his intentions. We wouldn't know that if it wasn't for him. Let's continue.
That he left his
Derek Jackson is hanging out with all kind of girls right now. A lot of people are confused about I know he ain't doing this. Not with the mother of his kids. That's romantic. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes. Listen, y'all getting caught up on all of this stupid love language stuff. That's not real.
What? No, player, hold on. I gotta hear that again.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not true.
Rita, what do you? No. I got a question for you.
Okay.
What do you think that Derek Jackson is doing right now?
You mean like at this moment?
Yeah. What do you think that Derek Jackson doing?
He probably with that girl.
Well, what girl?
That he left his
Derek Jackson is hanging out with all kind of girls right now. A lot of people are confused about I know he ain't doing this. Not with his not.
What is this? Being with your wife? Being with your wife. And just because you're on camera with your wife and Derek Jackson at that time may not have implemented the same technique or the same content as to attach to his brand and his name, you done brought it all back to life. And not only that, but you done compared it to your situation to make it seem as if you're doing her a favor. Who, child? Lord, fix it. Fix it. Because I'm feeling some type of way. I ain't going to even lie to you. And she sits there. That's why I pray for her. And other people pray for her. Whether she asks for those prayers or she don't. She is given the best, in my opinion, of what she's got, at least in this situation, just by tolerating your dismissiveness and your disrespect.
With the mother of his kids, that's romantic. You know what I'm saying? In my eyes. Listen, y'all getting caught up on all of this stupid love language stuff. That's not real. It's not real in real life. Real life is. I don't even want to give them the game right now because I almost feel like that's Patreon level content. I don't even want to give y'all the game right now. They don't even know what it takes to be successfully married. Let me tell you what Rita was doing all today. Tell me this ain't romantic. Telling me all of her wants and desires as far as what it is that she needs in order to continue to be happy as a woman. Look at her. See? Is that not true?
Yeah, we was having a conversation.
And I was listening. Listening is romantic. Because usually I'll be like, yeah, girl, and just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Because he's taking care of business. I put the phones down. I wasn't even doing no business at that particular time. And all of that. Like, I ain't answering no emails or nothing. I don't know what else you want from me, lady.
Nothing.
Look at your watch.
I'm not complaining.
Look at your watch.
He said, I don't know what else you want from me. Look at your watch. I've never known for a watch to make me feel like a man's presence feels. I've never known for a watch or a ring how many diamonds, if it's princess cut, whatever it looked like. I've never known for that to give me the same effect and the same feeling as the presence and the connection and the physicality of my husband or my man. Because a lot of people don't believe in the institution of marriage anymore. They don't trust it. So now you have men and women that coagulate and that cohabitate without this country's certificate of marriage based off of the state or the country's requirements in order to make you feel valid, in order to make you feel as one, in order to make you feel as if you are a union. And I'm not knocking either or. I'm just saying that that's the reality of the situation. But his first go-to is your watch. What kind of watch you got on? I remember watching a live stream where he was talking about things that accrue value outside of stocks. And he was speaking on the Rollies that he purchases that accrue value and the things that go down in value, right? So I know that the Rollie, and I can speak from experience on his words and his live streams and listening to him directly say that those are an investment. That's his idea, in my opinion. And the wife is going to allow the husband to lead. So it's not a surprise for him to say, what you got on your wrist? What you got on your hand? What you got on your finger? What you wearing? What else you want from me, lady? Did he not say that earlier in this same stream? What else you want from me, lady? Couldn't ask me that question because I don't give a shit about none of that. Especially when you ain't never had it. And even if you had, then you have gone through the experience of realizing what it gives you and what it don't. It may be an asset, but it's not a replacement of your husband's energy. Y'all, I'm exercising restraint because I'm passionate about what I'm saying. And I want to cuss. I want to get loud. And I'm proud of myself. Because at the end of the day, this is not only why men don't want to get married, but this is the kind of content that women are watching. And they're like, you know what? I'm good. I don't even want a relationship. I don't even want to be hooked up. I don't want to go on dating sites. I don't trust people. Whatever their situation is their situation. That's all fine and dandy. But I'm here to tell you, I am truly skeptical. Because the manipulation and the ability to manipulate is at an all-time high, that by the time a lot of people that aren't aware, that don't have the gift of discernment, realize what's really going on, it's too late. She in too deep. That's what it is. So now she's accepted and adopted the same ideology that he's adopted or that he has. Because guess what? She don't work outside the home. She don't really go outside the home unless it's to shop or deal with their child. He is her primary influence. And I don't know how true it is. This is allegedly, but I have seen several sources say that one of the first things he did was alienate her and separate her from her people. I don't know nothing about that. I'm just saying there's a ring of truth there. Period. Let's continue.
the rollie star with the rollie on.
Look at your watch. I don't know what else you want from me. Look at her ring. Look at her watch. Rudy, do you care if I wear my ring?
No.
Why not?
That don't mean nothing.
I had a guy that came on a Q&A show yesterday, and he said that he said me wearing my ring would gets me more girls. And then I said, well, considering that I don't wear a ring, how do you substantiate that argument? And then he said, me being married is the thing that I have my DMs popping. And then I said, there's plenty of guys that's married that don't have their DMs popping. Then he said, me being famous and me having money and all of that other type of stuff. Do you think that any of that is true?
I don't. Maybe you've been famous.
I'm not famous.
Well, I mean, you know.
So, okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I will look at the chat for a response. But in the question, didn't he say that the gentleman distinguished the difference between people being famous and how they garner a different response? But then when she says it, he gives her an objection. I'm not famous. But you presented the question with the words of being famous. So that is why she garnered the response to include you being famous, because that's how you presented the question. Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All I'm saying is that's what I heard. Am I wrong on what I heard? But now that she says it, you're listening with a different ear and you're calculating a different response other than the one that you heard when the guy said what he said to you. You chose to reiterate it and to regurgitate it, but she went off the information that you gave. And now you want to correct her with the shit that you said. Y'all better listen. Okay, so this is what I want to, hold on a second. Image file. Give me 1 second, y'all. I want to show this. I can't get the actual video, but this to me, if you can disregard the anti-lie down here, I want you to look at the chemistry and the body language amongst thousands of people. With somebody that's not his wife. Somebody that he brought to the Corey Holcomb show. I'm sorry, y'all. The dyslexia is kicking in. And asked that she be admitted to the panel so she could promote a show. Look how he's leaning into her. Look at the body. Nothing has to be said but the body language. Look at the smirk or the smile on his face. You know what message that sends me? It sends me that you're doing this shit for content. You doing this for public acknowledgement. You doing it for acceptance by those that are in your tax bracket. Why isn't your wife courtside at one of these games? I'm just saying. You made it seem as if it was a burden, as if it was something that you tolerated from your wife. Hold on, y'all. Let me get it together.
You're up there, like you're
no,
not
no,
just
no,
like.
no, 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 no.
He never turned into his wife. We are over halfway through this video. He never reciprocated turning into his wife on this video. Never. I'm just saying. Let me go back. Thank you so much. Hey, Clara. Dishing Dirt. Support for the channel and content. Amen. Thank you for stopping through. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. I really do. And we got my sis Laverne in the building with a super sticker. Thank you, sis. I love you. I love you. I love my supporters. I love my people that comment in the chat. I know, listen, I'm trying to learn this YouTube thing, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be transparent. I got a son that needs me, and I make no apologies for it. I got two sons, but one of them's grown, and he still need me, right? But that baby boy, listen, I don't make no apologies for that. This YouTube thing is all good and dandy, but I have had to reevaluate my entire priority list, and I make no apologies for it. And those that rock with me, and they understand exactly, because my message and my story has been the same. It has been truthful. It has been consistent. And I am who I am. And though I may not bear my soul or my business online, I give enough to the people that support me genuinely to say that, y'all, listen, it is not because I'm dismissive or I just don't care. It is because I put my attention first and foremost to the people I bear life to, me and their dad. So with that being said, those that understand, I'm not for everybody. It's cool. I don't hold it personal. I still support people that don't necessarily support me. And that's cool. I don't look at life through a lens like that. I just don't. That's not I ain't never been a jealous hearted person. Ain't never been a scrutiny type of individual. Like, okay, well, if I do this for you, you got to do this for me. That ain't my stilo, because everybody's life is different. But I do look for people being genuine. I do look for people being authentic. I do look for people being somewhat transparent, because I'm somewhat transparent. I'm not bringing all my business to no internet. I don't give a damn what's going on. I don't give a damn how much money I am potentially making on this thing. My family has always and will always come first. And I accept and I trust that God will weed out those that don't have my best interests at heart. And with the way that I am, they can't stay. Period. They can't stay. So I don't look at the numbers going down as there being a level of inadequacy. I look at the numbers adjusting because God is saying, listen, either you're for her or you're not. And I'm good with whoever's left. And I don't hold no grudges with whoever is not there. That was there at one point. You ain't got to worry about that with me. I'm on purpose. And when people are on purpose, they don't sit back and be petty with the bullshit and with the small things that at the end of the day don't propel your purpose. I would rather have 13 people that are genuine and genuinely listening to what I have to offer than to have 500 people in the chat just here because they heard. And we're going to leave it at that. Thank you, sis. I love you. Let me tell you something. I'm going to push the play button after this. Me and Laverne, me and Your Thoughts have a special relationship. And I know that it's God-given. I know that God brought her into my life where I needed her and she needed me in areas that nobody else could fulfill. I am not here, and neither is she in my life here to supply or fulfill every need. But the needs that we are here to fulfill of each other, we on point, we in sync, and can't nobody fuck with it, period, including us. Better get it, you better get it right. Whether we got people that are hating in the background, whether we got people that don't understand our situation, it ain't got nothing to do with us. Because we both are the matriarchs of our family. We both hold and we are the glue that keeps our family together. And we both have that in common amongst many other things. And everything ain't for the internet. And I love that aspect about our relationship the most. Because we come together on everything that affects our relationship. Let's keep it going.
I don't consider what it is that I got going on to be famous. That's not what it is. There's plenty of people that got a lot of followers on Instagram, but I don't consider them famous.
Yeah, but yours is not only on Instagram, you're also on YouTube as well.
That don't mean nothing.
You've been on Dr. Phil.
So there's plenty of people that be on Dr. Phil every day.
I mean,
He's talking about that don't mean nothing, but you just hit your 20,000 mark on Patreon. Where do you think them people came from? I'm just saying. Where do you think them people came from? They didn't come from Instagram, not all of them. You put your time, energy, and resources into YouTube. Now you trying to minimize. You think that the people that's watching this don't pick up on that? Maybe not all, but enough. Enough do. All right, I'm gonna shut up, y'all. I promise I'm gonna shut up. Listen, this dude here.
it's just like it's a lot of factors that play into it. It's not just Instagram. And I mean, okay, so you might not consider it to be famous, but some people do. And a lot of people like the visibility, so they want to just get close to people that they think can help them become more visible. A lot of people want to be famous. A lot of people want to be in the limelight. A lot of people want to be seen and noticed. So they feel like they need to get closer or get in the presence of somebody who's where they want to be. That makes sense. You think so?
Fame is overrated. The way that everybody else defines.
I just saw that message. I ain't messing with you. I ain't doing nothing but telling the truth. I ain't getting mushy. I ain't in a mushy mood. I ain't in a mushy mood, Laverne. Listen, I'm low-key triggered by how he dealing with his wife. Listen, it's taking everything in me not to get flagged. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Listen, we are... That's why I ain't been watching the chat, because I know it's gonna throw me out. And I'm trying to listen. This dude here. Okay, so I gotta keep it clean. I gotta keep it funky. He not my type. Okay. He not my type, and he probably ain't 85, 86% of the single women's type or non-single women. since he got side chicks, since he got a concubine, since he got, according to him, he got a fleet of women. I'm just gonna say you ain't got them without putting the bag on their heads. That ain't gonna work. Just by swag alone, just by appearance, just by the size glasses, just by the little mumps in the cheeks. Okay, I'm done. I can't, because I'm trying. I've been doing good. But he is, somebody need to like really just kind of, but I don't know if there's anybody that can actually enlighten him, because he really believes he's a god. And I'm not going to show that clip, but there is a clip out there that exists where he said, and you could probably go back to Kwame Brown Bus Lives channels, because it was in the past couple of days, in his past couple lives, that I actually heard him say that he's a god. This is wild. This is wild. Let's go, y'all.
Some people just like attention. They don't think about all the stuff that comes with it. All they want to do is they want the money and they want to be seen. They want everybody looking at them so that they can show off and stun and show all of their stuff that they got. But they don't think about the back end and the horrible stuff that comes along with it.
One last question.
What?
He said one last question. So for fair use, listen, we're going to get prepared for this last question, because we know and we realize and we have ascertained, at least the perceptive and the intelligent portion of us have ascertained, that he's doing this for content. I wish my husband would. I wish my husband would not just use me for content, but then when I acquiesce to him using our relationship for content, he exploits me by saying statements like, my nipples were hard, I'm half naked, these hoes. So you're referring to me as a hoe. He talking about, I've heard him say he would never get divorced. You married to the right one. But your head would spin if it was me and you exploited me in this situation. I'm just saying.
I won't let you be on the internet. What do you think about that?
I don't want to be.
Why not?
Because I see what you go through, and
I don't go through nothing. My life is great.
I mean, not what you go through.
His life is great because he spends all of his days on the internet, and he reaps the financial benefits of being on the internet, but he will never say what it has cost him. He will never, through all of this transparency, and through all of this, oh, I put my life on the internet, I do this, I do that. He will never tell the truth about what it has cost him. I've never heard him say what it has cost him. Never. I've watched enough of his content to ascertain what is important to him. I know what's important to him. I know what his God is, in my opinion. As time has gone on in the past year and a half, I have heard about his wife less and less. I don't expect to hear about his daughter. But if your wife is part of your business, and at one point you will go on live on your biggest channel, drop her name, call her, text her, she be walking in the background. Now all of a sudden we don't know nothing about her. We see more of Mika than we see of your wife. I have personally seen more of Mika, heard more of Mika, seen you fly out, Mika, seen you in the same hotel with Mika that I haven't seen with your wife. It is what it is.
But I'm just saying, like, the comments and people saying
They be wishing for my downfall.
and yeah,
wishing
just, like, all the
they wishing that my
negativity and the ugly stuff. Like,
they be wishing that my marriage dissolved.
I just want to stay in my bubble.
You don't want to be famous. You don't want to be on the internet.
No,
People be wishing that my marriage breaks.
people are ugly.
They say I'm gonna have a glorious fall.
What does that mean?
That means that one day you're gonna wake up this out of the blue and be like, "Oh man, I want to leave. I want to get out of here." What do you think about that?
What?
Why you not gonna take half?
Because I don't have to. Because you already said that you're gonna take care of me. So why would I need half?
When you leaving? Get the piss off me.
Y'all, listen, the buttons looking all the same right about now. I know it's time for me to end this live stream. Let me rewind this a little bit. And then Laverne threw me off a little bit. She said, that gives you like a little inclination on what our behind the scenes conversation is like. So just to tell y'all, me and Laverne talked about recording some of our conversations and putting it on YouTube because we definitely get off deep into it. She's less shy than I am. I have my moments. I'm selective, and it depends on my mood and my spirit, the level of my energy, on whether I go outside with it or not. But what I will say, that's my Laverne at the end of the day. So we're going to go back a little bit, and I'm gonna replay this because I don't want to misquote. I don't want to misguide. I heard him say, you better be certain you telling the truth, but I don't want to tell the truth. I want you to tell the truth. I want you to reiterate and to speak your words and your body language and your relationship. I want you to display everything for yourself. Period. All I want to do is give my opinion, and that's all I'm doing. Let's go.
That means that one day you're gonna wake up this out of the blue and be like, "Oh man, I want to leave. I want to get out of here." What do you think about that?
What?
Why you not gonna take half?
Because I don't have to. Because you already said that you're gonna take care of me. So why would I need half?
When you leaving? Get the piss off me. Get off me. Gotta sit that chick down. Listen.
She a chick? I gotta sit that chick down. He said that. I didn't say that. He said I gotta sit that chick down. Nothing disrespectful about saying chick. But if I'm a wife, personally, for me, right or wrong, I want to be revered as such. I don't want to be generalized in the same terminology as your concubines or the people, your women that you work with. I don't want to have to misconstrue the body language. Picture's worth 1,000 words. He never, and if you go and you look at the playback of this video, I went through almost, not quite, but almost the entire clip of this particular video, and not once she was rubbing his head. She leaned into him. She looked at him when she spoke. Not once did he lean into her. Now, some people may say, oh, you being way too critical, Mr. Kimmy. Oh, you just looking too far into it. You being too critical of the whole situation. No, I'm not. Body language is ascertained and critiqued off of a certain sense of data. All these people that I'm speaking on thrive a lot off of facts. They thrive a lot off of statistics. They thrive a lot off of prove it. All I'm doing is displaying a picture or giving a video. So with that being said, I'm not going to make this no long drawn out situation. It is what it is. It said what it said. I said what I said. He said what he said. His wife said what she said. This picture say what it say. In the chat say what they say. Come on with it. He wants to feel like a player. He never had the so-called dime pieces, and that is truly obvious and apparent at the end of the day. Period, point blank. That is truly. And this picture to me, he can't say nothing to me on the back end.
I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Rita's.
No, because he doesn't do anything romantic.
She said he don't do nothing romantic. She is leaned into him. She got an arm around his shoulder. She got the other hand on his neck. And he is holding the camera looking straight forward, calling her hoes or saying hoes in her presence, implying that she is one, amongst some other things. Just go back and watch the replay if you question what I'm saying. Don't take my word for it. I am playing his video on his channel. Period, point blank. That's it at the end of the day. He can't even look at her until he's insulting her. But then you got this. That says everything I need to know. With that being said, I appreciate everybody that came through. Anybody that's watching the replay, I appreciate each and one of y'all. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the engagement in the chat. Thank you for the support, whether it's seen or unseen. I see you. Thank you so much. I am grateful for it all. And I just wanted to give Miss Akimi's perspective. If you don't respect it, keep it moving. If you do respect it, look at the gems that I dropped, and maybe you can apply it to your personal situation wherever you are in your life, in whatever stage of life you are in. I don't have nothing to gain by this. I don't have nothing personally against nobody that I've spoke on. I don't know none of these people. I am just using this situation and this instance to bring certain things to light. And that's what I've done. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.